It's Friday, August 25th, 2023, and this is the Washington Times Front Page. Thanks for joining us. I'm George Gerbo. The Front Page is brought to you by Republican Metals. Call 800-783-3118 to get your free gold guide. That's 800-783-3118. Early U.S. intelligence assessments suggest that an intentional explosion led to the plane crash that apparently killed Wagner Group chief Yevgeny Prigozhin. U.S. and other Western officials offered little detail on what they think caused the explosion, but they told the Associated Press that it appears to have been a purposeful act. Mike Glenn and Ben Wolfgang report the assessment comes amid widespread speculation that Russian President Vladimir Putin ordered the assassination of another rival. Prigozhin was one of 7 passengers on board an Embraer Legacy 600 jet that crashed Wednesday during a flight from Moscow to St. Petersburg. Russian state-run media haven't officially confirmed Prigozhin's death, but Russian outlets said all 7 passengers and 3 crew members are presumed dead. Staying with Russia, Ben takes a look at some of the headline-grabbing comments in recent days from Dmitry Medvedev, deputy chair of the Russian Security Council. Medvedev was once heralded as a fresh-faced liberal, perhaps even a foreign policy dove, representing a new generation of Russian politicians while serving as Russia's caretaker president from 2008 to 2012. Even at the time, there was little doubt that Putin, who preceded and succeeded Medvedev, wielded the real power. Since the Russian invasion of Ukraine, Medvedev has reemerged as one of the most prominent, quotable figures in the Russian power structure. Each day seems to bring another wild, often violent, and sometimes blatantly belligerent comment from Medvedev, who appears to have settled into his role as the Kremlin's most outspoken rhetorical bomb thrower. What, if anything, has changed in the wake of the first Republican presidential primary debate this week? Tom Howell takes a look at some of the fallout. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis managed to avoid a pile-on as he protects his number 2 position in the race, though he was outshined at times. Businessman Vivek Ramaswamy and former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley forced the political world to take them seriously in the pack chasing former President Trump for the Republican nomination. Nearly 3 in 10 viewers said Ramaswamy won the debate, only slightly edging out DeSantis, according to a JL Partners poll. He drew 28% of votes in the poll, compared with 27% for DeSantis and 13% for former Vice President Mike Pence. Pence flexed his experience and presented a fiercer-than-normal side of himself during the debate. The Front Page is brought to you by Republican Metals. Currency change is coming, and Republican Metals believes you need to protect your savings now. Call 800-783-3118 to get your free gold guide. That's 800-783-3118. Some Department of Homeland Security staffers say Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas has granted his employees more than $1 billion worth of additional vacation time. Stephen Dinan reports Mayorkas has approved 115 hours of additional leave per employee. That includes 45 hours, or more than a full extra week in his first year, followed by 48 hours in 2022, and 24 hours so far this year. The vacations have become a headache for managers who say there's so much extra time floating around that they have trouble keeping track of it all. And finally, parents' rights groups have won some key education battles in American classrooms, but defenders of LGBTQ rights are regrouping as another school year begins. Valerie Richardson reports New Jersey Democratic Attorney General Matthew Platkin won a temporary injunction last week against newly enacted parental notification rules in 3 districts. He called the decision a major victory for civil rights. Democrats say such policies enable schools to protect transgender students from unsupportive parents, but in places such as Northern Virginia, parents have clashed with school boards that refuse to change their policies. Find all today's front page stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page or on the Washington Times app, and find us wherever you get your podcasts. Just search Washington Times in your favorite podcast app. And a quick programming note, the front page will be off on Monday, August 28th, and will return on Tuesday, August 29th. For the Washington Times, I'm George Gerbo.